What is a key consumer metric that determines the success of your business? Hi, everybody. I'm Pierre Bouvard, Chief Insights Officer here at the Audio Active Group at Cumulus Media and Westwood One. Today, our focus is on a consumer measure called unaided awareness. That's the ability of consumers to name your business when prompted to name advertisers and services and retailers in a particular category. The key here is that mind share equals market share. And today we're going to share brand new research conducted in Lake Charles, Louisiana, over a series of categories that shows you how crucial unaided awareness is for your business. So there are 6 key takeaways from this study. First, through the use of AM/FM radio, Able Plumbing has the strongest unaided awareness for plumbing services in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Also, through its strong use of radio, Burnworth AC is the leading Lake Charles brand for heating and ventilation services. But 25% of consumers are unable to name one brand in the HVAC category. And Meads Automotive is the leading auto repair brand in Lake Charles, but we also see 1 out of 5 unable to name one car repair service in the category. So why is unaided awareness so critical for your business? Well, it is memories that generate sales, and it's advertising that creates those memories. And building positive memories for your brand allows you to sell more at every price point. And having a strong brand allows your business to convert advertising impressions into sales at a far stronger rate than those businesses with weak brands. So today we take you to Lake Charles, Louisiana, an unrated market with a population of 175,000, nestled on the Gulf of Mexico, an I-10 in between Houston and Baton Rouge. Quantilope was commissioned to conduct a unaided awareness survey by the Audio Active Group here at Cumulus Media and Westwood One. Quantilope surveyed 100 respondents over the age of 18 in Lake Charles who did not work in the media and marketing industry, and these surveys were conducted from August to October of 2025. Now, the key question that was asked was this unprompted or unaided awareness question. A series of categories were exposed to consumers, and they were asked to name all of the businesses they could think of in that category. And here's an example of how the question was asked. In the plumbing category, so when you think of plumbing services, which ones come to mind? And then in the online survey, consumers had to just type in all the names they could think of. So this really is not helping people by giving them lists of brands. They have to, on their own, consult their memories and name all of the businesses they can think of for key retail categories. So let's take a look at the plumbing category. Able Plumbing leads all brands in unaided awareness at 14%. You can see they're outperforming a number of major national brands in the category, but 29% of consumers unable to name anybody in the plumbing category. And then when you do these surveys, you get a lot of responses, and you see the kind of the long tail of responses that you get when you're probing on a specific category. Now let's hop over to the HVAC category. Burnworth AC, a strong user of radio, showing up near the top of the ranker as a leading HVAC company. And you see some national brands showing up there as well. But notice that the people that cannot name one brand, the don't know responses, 1 out of 4 unable to name anybody in the HVAC category. And then here's the rest of all of the responses from the unaided awareness probe for HVAC services in Lake Charles. Lastly, we turn to automotive repair, and Meads Automotive is the #1 local player, inched out just by a nose by national brand AutoZone. And again, we see just about 1 out of 4 unable to name any brand in the category. And you can see you get a lot of answers when you do these unaided awareness questions. You can see a lot of folks, some car dealers, some auto brands, some other auto parts retailers showing up in the category. Now, if you want a case study of someone who has absolutely knocked it out of the park in building a monster brand, the king of unaided awareness in our studies so far has to be Steve's Pest Control of Columbia, Missouri, a major radio advertiser for over 30 years, has achieved an eye-popping 34 unaided awareness in the pest control category, and notice that they are beating all of the major national brands. Now let's get back to this number one brand in all these categories, and that number one brand is Don't Know. Now, this is why advertising is so important for your business. It's not just about beating out the competition, but in many categories, there is a huge chunk of people. It could be 25%, could be 40% of people who can't think of any businesses in your category. So you have to explain to this large group of people who can't think of any brand in the category whatsoever that your business exists. So it's not about shouting about a sale. It's you have to kind of introduce yourself to the huge number of people in your category who can't think of one advertiser. The key is to aim for fame. Your ad should make your business famous in a memorable way, as opposed to just shouting about a sales event or trying to persuade people why you're better. Now, Jenny Romaniak, who is a widely published expert on brand building at the Ehrenberg Bass Institute of Marketing Science, explains it this way. She says a lot of advertising is geared to persuasion, why I'm better than the other company, as opposed to doing something called building mental availability. That's getting in the brain. That's about being known before you're needed. That's about being well known for your category and being able to quickly come to mind. She says persuasion is assuming you're already in the room and you're arguing your point. But mental availability is about getting into the room. So she says the big challenge for most advertisers is they're failing to get in the room, and they spend all of their money talking about sales events and kind of arguing like they're already in the room. So all of the advertisers surveyed in this study, Meads Automotive, Burnworth AC, Able Plumbing, Steve's Pest Control, all exhibit the four keys of radio advertising success. Number one, going for broad reach. Number two, ensuring high frequency, since learning is repetition. Number three, being consistent, being on 52 weeks a year. And number four, using interesting, memorable, and emotion-based creative to build your brand. So let's talk about going for broad reach. Of the four keys, this is number one. In that most useful marketing book you could ever read, How Not to Plan, 66 Ways to Screw It Up, by Les Binet and Sarah Carter, they say always aim to get more customers from all segments of the market. It's the main way brands grow. Reach as many category buyers as possible. Don't target too narrowly. It might be efficient, but it's rarely effective. Tight targeting means low sales and profits. So, success key number two for successful radio advertising, ensure high frequency, since learning is repetition. Aim to get a big group of consumers exposed 3 or more times. The objective is reach potential customers to get them to think of your business first. Number three of the four keys of successful radio advertising, be consistent, be on all the time. Les Binet and Sarah Carter advise, talk to everyone who buys your category and talk to them regularly. Why? Advertising memories fade. And number four, be interesting. Create ads that are memorable and emotion-based. Marketing effectiveness guru Dale Harrison says, creative effectiveness is the only growth lever marketers actually control. It's the only variable you can improve tomorrow. So make your ads less about sales events and more about making your brand memorable in a positive and entertaining way, because emotion is the most powerful selling tool you have. So why is unaided awareness so critical to the success of a business? Well, It's memories that generate sales, and it's advertising that creates memories. John Lombardo, the former global head of research at the LinkedIn B2B Institute and currently the co-founder of a new AI-driven marketing strategy measurement firm called Evidenza, says one of the primary things people misunderstand is how advertising works. People think you just put an ad out there and someone will immediately buy. But that's not how it works. Generally, you don't generate a sale from an ad. What you do is you generate a memory. Then, at some point later, consumers consult their memory. So the most important search engine is your brain. It's memory that got you to Google. And your memory is going to pull in strong brands. And strong brands are not built on clicks, they're built on memories. And what you find is that the stronger your brand, the more you can sell at every price point. So on the vertical axis up and down here are number of sales or transactions, and left to right is the price. So no doubt as you raise your prices, the number of transactions goes down, but strong brands are able to outsell weak brands at every single price point. And Kantar Millward Brown reveals that sales volume is 5 times greater for brands that are famous and have strong unaided awareness as opposed to weak brands. And more importantly, strong brands can get a pricing premium, and pricing is where profits are for a business. A recent study conducted by TrackSuit, a brand tracking company in partnership with TikTok, revealed that the stronger the awareness of a brand, the greater they're able to convert ad impressions into actual purchases. And you can see that a strong brand has 4 times greater conversion of purchase than a weak brand. One of the most critical findings out of the Ehrenberg Bass Institute of Marketing Science is the 95-5 rule. The 95-5 rule says that only a small number of consumers are in the market at any point in time. The vast majority of consumers are not in the market, not paying attention to your sales event ad, and need to be approached with a different kind of advertising. Now, the number one driver of brand preference is unaided awareness and being easy to mind and easy to find. Bennett and Carter say the single most important factor in driving brand preference is mental availability, how well known a brand is and how easily it comes to mind. So the brand that's remembered is the brand that is bought. The goal is not to create a lead. The goal is to create a memory, says Ty Heath from the B2B Institute at LinkedIn. Lead generation is short-term. Memory generation is long-term. Win the mind to win the market. Mind share equals market share. So our 6 key findings: through strong use of AM/FM radio, Able Plumbing, Burnworth AC, and Meads Automotive generated very strong levels of unaided awareness that'll power their businesses for years to come. This crucial measure of business success, unaided awareness, is really about creating memories, and memories are what generate sales, and it's advertising that creates the memories. And building strong, positive memories makes a strong brand. And brands that are strong have greater pricing power and can sell more at every price point, and they have a very strong ability to convert ad impressions into purchases. The Audio Active Group here at Cumulus Media in Westwood One is a full-service national brand advisory. We work with major brands to measure sales effect, brand lift, search and site attribution, and also pre-test advertising creative. Each and every week, we publish a new audio insight. You can find it on our blog at cumulusmedia.com or westwood1.com. And when you're there at the Audio Active Group blog, you can sign up to get the weekly case study sent directly to your email box. Thanks so much for the opportunity to take you through the power of unaided awareness to create successful businesses. Thanks so much.